Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at this pre-production prototype called the Kizer Kane. And this is based on Matt Degnan's Kane XL. And Matt was kind enough to let me get my hands on this one to share with you guys kind of in the early production stages. So this isn't necessarily the finished product. There might be a few changes before it comes to full-scale production. Though that still kind of remains to be seen. I don't have all the details on that just yet. As Matt didn't have the details on that just yet. But this is based on his Kane XL. So we'll go through the normal format, specs, overall impressions, details, and then at the end I will do kind of a comparison between my custom Kane 3.25 and then this Kane XL or Kane model. A little apples to oranges, but perhaps it'll provide some insight. So let's get into the details then. So we're taking a look at a 3 3/4 inch blade. Handle length is 5.4 inches. So fairly large knife here. It does weigh in at 6.95 ounces on my scale. So this is a very big, very manly knife here. Width-wise, it goes from about 1.7 down to about 1.4, tapers from there. Thickness is 0.52 inches. And those are the specs for the most part. Titanium handles, stainless steel lock insert, ceramic bearing and detent ball, titanium hardware, titanium pocket clip. Again, some of the things from this one to the actual production version might be a little different, but this should give you a pretty good idea of what to expect. So anyways, I guess those are the details for the most part. Do have some standoffs and so forth, but I guess my overall impressions, this is a big, beastly knife. Kizer did it again. I mean, going back to my video of the Dorado Scully that was designed by Matt Kuchar, that was kind of the first collaboration between Kizer and some really top-tier American makers. And based on Matt Degnan's relationship with Matt Kuchar, that's how this knife came to fruition. But again, I think Matt is certainly deserving. Certainly an honor to have a production piece put out based on his design this early in his knife making career. So if you haven't watched my previous video on the custom version, my Kane 3.25, Matt's only been making knives essentially for about 1.5 years now, but well on his way, doing some excellent work. And this knife I think really reflects that. Again, this is based on his Kane XL. And it is just, yeah, so pretty awesome. Excellent fit and finish. I think it really is going to surprise a lot of people. Again, if you haven't tried the Kizer Dorado or Dorado Scully or Flashbang Scully, has a lot of similarities with that knife. Mine's still kind of on loan to a friend, so I can't really do any comparisons, but it has a lot of the same features and it executes things to the same degree. So excellent. Anyways, those are my overall impressions. If you get it, if you like larger knives, if you have the ability to carry something in this size and in this weight, you're going to be really happy with the quality, the fit and the finish, the action, the smoothness. So yeah, if you guys are hearing any popping, this is the 5th of July, so some jerk off out there is making noise still. But anyways, let's get to the details. So just like with the other excellent Kizer collabs, S35VN, markings on the blade are the S35VN designation, the Kizer logo, the model number. There it is right there if you wanted it. And then on this side, they've incorporated the model name, which is the Kane. Again, XL, this is the Kane XL, his custom version, but XL, extra large, doesn't necessarily translate across all cultures. So another thing they've done well is they've actually, let me see if that'll focus. Yeah, so they've changed the size of the font. On the Kizer, it wasn't as well centered at the top of on the spine of the blade. And it was a much larger, thicker font. This one, they've centered it. They've used a smaller font. I think it's a little classier. It looks a little bit nicer as far as like the name of the maker, or I think it just said like Dorado Scully on the top. So they've separated that, put the designer's name and the model name. But anyways, you do have a really nice satin finish on this thing. You have kind of the vertical striations throughout, so a really nice satin finish. Well, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but on his own versions, his is more of like a stone wash and a real heavy satin. This is a little bit more of a refined look, and this is the type of finish they've used on their American collaborations thus far. So, yeah. You do have a kind of a large finger troll here in the front, so you can choke up on the blade, use the back of the spine to get a nice forward grip on the knife. Leaves quite a bit of room at the back there, so different applications. I have extra large hands and I can get my finger on there, no problem, get a nice solid grip without having the edge poke my finger, so yeah. Now detent, or the flipper tab, again, it follows the lines of the custom. There's no jimping, it has a nice kind of wide purchase. The detent, I'll talk about the action right now, but the detent isn't super strong. I don't think it has been on any of the Kizer models thus far, but surprisingly enough, even though it has a lighter detent, this thing flips beautifully. So it's, the ceramic detent ball, ceramic bearings, it really is, it's hard to half-ass it, to be honest. So really impressive action. At this point, I'm quite accustomed to really strong detents, like with my ZTs, and a lot of my other customs as well. But this one has a lighter detent, but again, it still deploys beautifully. So when you pick it up and you flip it, you're going to be like, wow, that detent is light, but it's going to flip much better than you think it should or it would. So kind of a paradox in that regard. Light detent, but flips amazingly well. So excellent action. And if your fingers are just getting absolutely hammered with hard detents and jimping and so forth, then this would be a nice reprieve from all of that abuse. But yeah, I can flip it with my thumb without any problem. So yeah, action is excellent. But anyways, internal stop pin, again, just like with the Dorado. I showed some takedown pictures of that in my video. But that's pretty much it for the blade. Really sharp, excellent edge. I think anyone would be impressed with the edge and the performance and so forth. And then it does have a hollow grind, and his custom has a hollow grind as well. So, yep. All right, handle. Looks like it was blasted, then given a light stone wash. So nice uniform look, nice clean appearance. Nicely contoured. This is something that I really raved about in the Dorado review. This type of contouring cannot be done by a machine, so there's some elements of handwork in here, and the entire knife has been nicely contoured as well. Nice transition between the tang and the handle there. Just very clean. So, titanium hardware. You have a really cool kind of custom titanium pivot there, titanium body screws, 2 standoffs, more blue titanium. You do have a titanium pocket clip here. It has excellent retention, nice coloration, fits really well with the knife. It is drilled and tapped for both left and right hand carry. I don't know if that's going to be, one of the changes when it comes to the full production line. It might have the same clip, it might get a milled clip. His customs do have a 3D milled clips. May or may not be tapped for left-hand carry. Again, these are some of the things that even Matt's still waiting to hear back on, so we'll see. Now, coming to the lock bar. Again, nice clean cutout on the lock bar and the lock bar cutout. Stainless steel lock insert. You can't really see the lock insert here on the outside. You can see the insert right there. Locks up about 50%. Nice and solid, no wiggle or anything, and the blade is perfectly centered as well. So, yeah. Now there is an over travel stop. Let me see if I can show you. You may or may not be able to see it, but essentially there's a little metal bar here as part of the stainless steel lock insert that prevents you from hyperextending the lock. So that's as far over as it will go. But yeah, so ergonomics, really good in the hand. Might benefit from some jimping, but Matt doesn't use jimping on his model, so again, they're staying true to form. But you know, if you get a good solid grip on it, you won't slip on it. And then you know, for draw cuts, the flat spine here, using the back of the swedge, gripping it like this. I use it in this format for draw cuts. Quite comfortable. Extra large hands. That's how much space I have. It kind of has like a well, it changes direction here a little bit, kind of like a fighting pommel of sorts. So it locks your hand in a little bit better. But again, if you've got larger than extra large hands, this is a knife that will work for you. So, yep. All right, now let's take a look as compared to the custom for a little bit. So again, this is a 3.25 full custom, and then the 3.75 Kizer production model. So as far as differences, I suppose, again, the finish that he uses on his customs, he likes the really rough, you know, satin type finish. He's all about kind of the user approach, you know, something that's kind of hard and gritty. This one, certainly a much higher satin finish, much finer finish, so has a little bit more of a sheen to it. It'll take scratches a little bit more readily too, but it shouldn't do too bad. So other differences, his handles here, little bit of contouring, pretty much flat handles, and then the edges are rounded, but the edges have actually been rounded on the Kizer models even more so. So it's not like there's a step here that's been rounded, it's just straight rounded on the edges. So you know, that's nice. I'm fine with either way. I think people typically might find this format a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, and this is something they did on like the Kizer and the Dorado and so forth, just some really nice rounded edges. And that's not something that you get even on most of the mid-techs that are out there. So really a standout feature on the Kizer models. Titanium hardware. This hardware, I think it was stainless steel, I don't recall. Standoffs versus like the brass, although, you know, his customs might use different types of standoffs. So here's his typical pocket clip, 3D contoured and so forth. This one's just a spring clip. I don't know if this will be the final version on the production, but anyways, you know, same blade shape, same kind of dimensions, I suppose, when it's scaled up. I mean, I'm sure this one is, you know, exactly matching to the Kane that he sent over, or the CAD drawings or whatever he sent over there. So I feel like they did a really good job of kind of replicating the feel of his knives. I think that, you know, the detent is a little bit stronger on this one. But as you can see, they both flip very, very well. In only 30 frames per second, you won't be able to really detect the difference, but it's very comparable. So even with the lighter detent. And I did make a mistake in my last video. This does use stainless steel bearings and a stainless steel detent ball, but the action really is unlike anything I felt on stainless steel before. Maybe the KVT was this good, but really impressive action. So anyways, hardened stainless steel racers that protects the titanium and so forth. But yeah, just a lot of really nice features. The price point is still to be decided. Hopefully it comes in kind of the low 200s, similar to, like, again, the Dorado and the Flashbang. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully I've answered all of your questions and given you the information that you're looking for on this one. But again, if you're looking for a larger knife and you like the design, I think you'll be really happy with this one. I've been playing with it non-stop because, again, it doesn't jack up my finger like some of my other ones do. So yeah, the stainless steel lock insert, this is a new feature for all of the new Kizers coming out in, what are we, 2015 now? So the previous models did not have it. It's something they wanted to do and they got around to with these new models. So some more models to come out. There should be another one from Matt Degnan. I think there's at least 2 more coming out from Matt Kuchara. There's 2 from Ray Laconico. There's some from Michael Venino. And then there are other makers that have are still kind of under wraps. They haven't been announced yet, but there's some really big names out there that are coming. So again, keep your eye out. There are probably going to be makers that you thought you would never be able to get your hands on one of their knives, and there will be a production version of that knife. So a lot of good things to come. Thanks so much to Matt for letting me borrow this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please follow me on Instagram, also under Epic Snuggle Buddy, and I am a co-host on the Modern Neanderthal podcast, which can be found at modneanderthal.com. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I'll see you soon.